Hello everyone, Rochelle here, and I'm back to share with you all some more yarn stuff. First of all, I would just like to say thank you to everyone that has subscribed and has watched my videos. I appreciate all of the positive feedback and comments that I have gotten over the last year, and also since I've had this channel, I cannot believe it has been a whole year. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so let's jump into the video. Okay, I have a lot of finished projects. I do have one work in progress that I'll get to in just a second. And the reason why I only have one work in progress is because my finger's been hurting, which is like the worst thing to happen to a knitter or crocheter, is to have a hurt finger. And it just happens to be this one. And of course, when you crochet, this finger constantly is going up. So I haven't really been able to crochet in a few days now. But the great thing about it is, like with knitting, and I don't have a knitting needle with me, well, with knitting, this finger doesn't move as much. So that's a big help. Alright, so let's get into some finished projects. The first finished project that I want to share with you all is a hat that I made for my husband. He really loves wearing the beanie style hats, and I felt like he needed a new one for this winter. So here it is. And you all may have seen this on Instagram. But here's the hat. And it's just a half double crochet hat. And the colors that I use for this hat are Red Heart with Love Black. And what I like about this yarn is that it is nice and sturdy and it's thick. And I also used Red Heart with Love Peacock. This is a really, really pretty color. And the hook size that I used was a size H, which is a size 8 5mm hook. So that's what I used. And it was really simple. I did it in like one afternoon. It was a really, really simple hat to do. So yeah, got that one done and he likes it. So on to my next finished project. Okay, so the next finished project has definitely been an interesting one because I made it and then I thought I was done, and the more I looked at it, I was like, this needs to be bigger. This needs more rows. This needs to wrap around really good. And so the project that I'm making is another Coraline shawl. So yeah, the yarn that I'm using is a Red Heart Super Sport. It's a 3-ply yarn, and it was my first time using this yarn. I'm not particularly crazy about thinner yarns, but this was actually really good, and it softened up like, as I used it. But the color is called Iris, and it is Red Heart Super Saver, and it's 5 ounces, 140 grams. And this is a really old skein. This was given to me by a friend. And back then, they didn't put the yardage on it. It just says 100% virgin acrylic fiber. So yeah, you can tell this is old. And the hook size that I used for this Coraline shawl was an I size 9, 5.5mm hook. That's what I used. Typically with the Coraline shawl, you'll use a J size hook, and I will leave a link in the description box below to the written pattern for that shawl. And also, if you're more into video tutorials, Claire from Bob Wilson 123 does an excellent video tutorial, but the written pattern is pretty easy to follow. So I'm probably not going to be able to fit this all into one shot because it's really, really big, but here it is. yeah, as you can see, it is super, super big. And since it is so big, what I'm going to do is do a separate clip of me wearing the shawl and just kind of showing you all how, you know, some of the different ways it can be worn. And I will insert that clip here. All right, so here it is. It's huge. Still don't even think I can fit it all. Okay, that's the furthest I can go. Yeah, it's massive. But it can be worn in many different ways. Got your handkerchief style. And you could move it over to one side, like so. I really like wearing it like this. That's really cool. And then you have your traditional style. Wraps around really good. Really warm, really cozy. Okay, so you all just saw the clip of the different ways you can wear it and just how big it is, and it's just, you know, it feels really, really good to the skin, and yeah, really excited about it. So yeah, that is my Iris Coraline shawl. And the shawl pattern, you know, it's not written to be this big, but the great thing about this pattern is that you can just keep adding rows to it. This is probably my 4th or 5th Coraline shawl. Like, I'm addicted to this pattern. It's my favorite triangle shawl pattern that I have found. There's another pattern on that website that I want to try also, but that'll be to come in the future. All right, moving on. Oh, and by the way, that took 2.5 skeins of yarn, so it's pretty massive. 2.5 skeins of this yarn right here. And when I did the math, this is almost like, I think maybe 500 yards, something like that. Don't quote me on that, because it's written, it has the grams and the ounces on it, not the yards or meters. So, but yeah, you can get a lot out of one of these. And that was the Red Heart Super Sport. All right, so the next one that I'm going to share with you all is it's been a year-long project. As you all know, I am participating in the Ugly Blanket 2016 challenge, and that was started by Mingma1 here on YouTube. And I know in the last video I said that I probably wouldn't finish it in time. I just got too much going on. And then, I don't know what it is, I just got like a burst of energy one night, and I just started working on it. And before I knew it, I had a border, and then I kept going, and next thing you know, I had joined the squares. So I have finished it. And let me grab these. And what I did with each square is that I had some old price tags left over from some craft fairs that I had done. And so that I wouldn't get the squares mixed up, I used these old tags, and I put, I don't know if you can see that, I put the month on each tag. And then I secure the tag to each square. So when I was joining them, it would be easy to keep them in order. So yeah, that's all I would do, is just put each month on it. And then, you know, they're old tags for craft fair stuff. So that was a great way to recycle these tags. But anyway, here is the blanket. And oh, in the last video, I had not showed you all the December square. So this is the December square. Yeah. I really like how that turned out. This yarn is some Hobby Lobby yarn, and then this is Red Heart Camo. And the yarn that I used to do the borders with was Red Heart Super Saver Royal Blue. Let's see, I think oops, it's yarn falling everywhere. Okay, oh, here it is. Here it is. It is Red Heart Super Saver Royal Blue. I think I have the tag somewhere. Yes. There it is. And I have one full skein left. I have no idea what I'm going to do with this yarn. Because if you all remember when I did that ginormous bedspread, this was the yarn that I also used for the border of that bedspread as well. So here it is. And once again, it's not going to fit in the shot. So I am going to do another clip of me showing you all the full length and grandeur of this blanket. So here's the clip. Alright, so here are all my squares all joined together. This one was January, and then February, no wait, I got it mixed up. Okay, so this is January, February, March, April, then May, June, July, August, then September, October, November, and December. Here it is. And it feels really good. Really cozy. And I can't wait to use it. Okay, so you all just saw the clip of me showing off the bedspread. It turned out really, really well, and it is so cozy. It is made of all acrylic yarn, and most of the yarn is, you know, they're all worsted weight yarns. I did have a couple of pieces that were a little thinner than the rest, but for the most part, everything was worsted weight, size 4, and I just love how they look together. Like, it is so comfortable. It is so great. I'm not sure if I'm going to block it, but I do want to add another row, like another border that just goes all the way around, because I think that it will even out the edges, and the edges look, you know, pretty good for the most part, but, you know, like, I don't know. I'm thinking I might add another border to go all the way around it, especially since I have so much of the blue left. You know, it really wouldn't hurt anything. And for this blanket, I used a H hook, number 8, size 5.00 millimeter for this. And yeah, I'm excited about it. I believe Mingma One is going to do an ugly blanket challenge for 2017 as well. You would have to watch her video to find out the details. But if she does, you know, if she does decide to reboot it for 2017, I totally think you should join it, because it is an excellent way to use up my scraps. And I was looking at the scraps that I had left over for the year, and it's not that many. It's not that many scraps that I had left over. And so imagine if I hadn't have made this blanket. Imagine all the scraps I would have had lying around. So it's great. And you know, if I do another ugly blanket challenge for 2017, I already have a few scraps ready to work on those squares. I probably have enough scraps for like 2 squares, but yeah, we shall see. Okay, so looking around, those are all of my finished projects, I do believe, and I will be right back to show you all my whip. Okay, so let's let me show you all my work in progress that I'm working on. As I mentioned earlier, I only have one work in progress because of my finger. Like, there's so many things that I want to crochet. So many things. Like, I want to do another messy bun hat, which is so popular right now. And oh, speaking of that, I actually do have 3 more finished projects, but I've given them to the recipients already, so I am going to add pictures of those at the end of this video just so you can kind of see. But you know, that's why I would love for you all to follow me on Instagram, because I post pictures as soon as I finish projects, and sometimes those projects end up being given away or being sold before I can make another video. So yeah, definitely follow me on Instagram so that you all will see the things that don't make it to the video. But I will share with you all some things at the end. I made a hat for my local yarn shop, L's Yarn Stash, and I made a messy bun hat, and there was one more. Oh, a friend of mine, well, he's my little buddy, CJ. I made a Carolina Panthers hat for him because him and his family was going to their first Carolina Panthers game in Charlotte, which is exciting. I remember my first game, and it's super excited. We lost, but that's okay. There's always next year. Alright, so my work in progress is my Keeping It Simple stockinette cowl. And I am using Sea Spray Ombre, which is by Hobby Lobby's. I love this yarn. And here's how much I have left. You see the colors in that? Isn't that pretty? That's so pretty. And basically I'm just going to keep working until I'm done, because I like to double wrap my cowls. So here it is. Oh, and the needles that I'm using are my Knitter's Pride Carbons size 8, which is a 5mm needle. So here it is. And forgive me if I use crochet hook and knitting needle, you know, interchangeably at the wrong times, because I'm a crocheter first, so sometimes it's hard for me to say like knitting needles. But here it is. Let's see, I think I have it turned around the wrong way. Okay. And that's another thing too, is like with crochet, the wrong side isn't always so obvious, but like in knitting, the right side and the wrong side is totally obvious, and sometimes I just have them turned around the wrong way. But here it is. And it's starting to curl because it's stockinette down the middle. But as you can see here, it's garter stitch on each side. It's about 7 or 8 stitches of garter stitch, and then it's stockinette in the middle. And I absolutely love the way this yarn is turning out. So that's how much I've done. And it's not quite enough to wrap around. I mean, I could stop it here, but I don't like things tight around my neck, so I'm going to keep going. And the stockinette is definitely starting to show itself because it is curling like crazy. But that's what it looks like. And I'm really happy with the results. And I have really been enjoying my knitting. I really have. But, you know, I miss crocheting. It's one thing to crochet, not crochet because, you know, you rather knit, but it's another thing to not be able to crochet because your finger is sore. And it's like when you're knitting, your finger rests here, so it doesn't really go anywhere except to like release the yarn. But with crocheting, this finger is always moving. But it's feeling better slowly. But I'm ready for, you know, it to get better because I have so many things that I want to crochet. I really, really do. But anyway, alright. So, oh yes, I have bought stuff. Yes, yes, yes. But of course I'm always buying stuff, aren't I? Anyway, I digress. Okay, so let me show you all what I have bought. And I have bought these from my local yarn store, L's Yarn Stash. And the So the two things that I bought were some new ChildGoo needles. This one is a 24-inch cable, and it is a size 10.5. So these are great. And as I've told you all, ChildGoo has become my favorite knitting needles thus far. I have tried many, but there are a few more that I want to try as well. And I got a size 9. So at this point, I have every knitting needle size in a circular needle except 15. I don't really have a need for small needles right now, so I have sizes 7 through 11 right now. Yeah. Trying to think, do I have a 13? I just might. I don't know. My stash is getting out of control. I don't even know what I have. But anyway, so these are the two ChildGoo needles that I bought. And then another little something I picked up at Elle's Yarn Stash is dyed by Oat Knit Yarn, and here it is. Is that not gorgeous? Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Like, I'm not really a big pink person. As you all know, I love purple, but this is a beautiful fuchsia dark pink color, and look at the sparkles in that. I don't know if you all, how well you all can see the sparkles. Yeah, isn't that great? So this is Sparkle DK weight. And you know it have to be great for me to buy DK because I love my worsted and my bulky. But it's 230 yards, 100 grams. It is 75% merino, 20% silk, and 5% stellina. Yeah, to say I'm excited would be an understatement. Oh my goodness. But yeah, so here it is. Look at those sparkles. You can really see it there. I cannot wait to use this. Can't wait to use it. So yeah, fantastic. All right, so let me check my little list here. Make sure I got everything. Yeah. So those are all of my finished projects, my works in progress, the things that I have bought. Yeah. So I do have some other stuff that I want to show you, but I'll wait to the end. But yeah. So I've just been really enjoying my time off work and cleaning and organizing my room, my craft room. And I don't know, just 2017, I want to start with a fresh yarn room. I've gotten rid of yarn that I'm not using. I've given some of it away to like Goodwill and stuff like that. Yeah, I've gotten rid of a lot of like old patterns and things that are now online, and I don't really need the paper copy anymore. And I've just really been cleaning up around here. So have any of you all been, you know, cleaning up your yarn stash and trying to get everything right and organized for 2017? Because that's what I've been doing. And yeah, I do like it. I still have a lot of yarn, but I didn't realize, like, I have less yarn than I realized. Even my husband said it. Like, after I reorganized the yarn room and everything, it occurred to me that I really don't have that much yarn. At least not in my eyes. Which means I should probably go out and buy some more. Or not. I don't know. But yeah, like, after I organized and everything, I was like, okay, I may not be as much of a yarn hoarder as I thought I was. Or maybe I've just been making so much stuff that, you know, my stash has dwindled before my eyes and I haven't really noticed. But yeah, I've been working on that today. Alright. So, there is a new segment that I want to bring into 2017. It's kind of like a what do you want to know type of deal, where I will answer questions that you all leave for me, like on YouTube and Facebook. Yarn related questions, very yarn related, don't get too personal. But anyway, just yarn related questions that you all may have. I would love to answer them for you. And so that's something new that I want to get started with. Now, I have had one question that was asked on my last video, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get an answer to that question here in this video, because I could have typed it all back, but it was just, it's a lot to type. It's a very detailed answer. So yeah, so I will answer that question now. Okay, so let's get into what you want to know. Alright, so I have a question from Justine Howard. She had a question. She said, I have a question about hand-dyed yarn. Is it true that this yarn bleeds when you wash it? Well, since I am kind of new into the hand-dyed yarn game, I had to bring in the expert. And so I asked Shelly. She is the hand dyer of Oat Knit Yarns. And so she gave me a very detailed answer that I will share with you all now. She says that there shouldn't really be any bleeding when it comes to your hand-dyed yarn, but there are a few exceptions. Very saturated neons, pinks, blues, and teals, those could bleed. And she said that blues tend to appear to bleed because the blue dye molecules are larger. And she says that, you know, when it comes to the pinks and the purples, or like the very, very black yarn, those could possibly bleed, you know. And she says that there are several reasons why yarn may bleed. And she says that sometimes the dyer may use too much dye. Sometimes the yarn isn't set properly. Sometimes the dyer may not have used enough acid. And sometimes the dyer may have not rinsed the yarn well enough. And then she says that there are some bleeding issues that are in no control of the dyer. There's nothing they can do. And that is that the natural oils in your skin can make certain colors bleed. And everyone is different. So one that might rub off on you may not rub off on somebody else. You know, we're all different. You know, you may have yarn that something about your skin makes the color bleed, and then somebody else, they have no problem. It's just, you know, there's nothing you can do about that. And she also says that lotions, sometimes oils, and especially lotions with the fragrance, that will also pull dye out of yarn. And she also said that there's a thing called crocking. And that is when you have like, kind of like, you know how you buy like a new pair of jeans that stain your shoes or your legs? Because this has happened to me. I have bought brand new blue jeans and have worn like some white Converse, and then next thing you know, I look down and there's blue all over my white shoes, which sucks. And so sometimes that same effect happens, and no matter how many times you wash it, the dye it's just gonna bleed. And the last thing she said is that 99% of the time, if something bleeds when you block a project, it's because the water is too hot. So don't block your projects. Your projects that are made with hand-dyed yarn, don't block those with very hot water. She says that most dyers use acid dyes, and after they are set, they can't be in water above 160 degrees Fahrenheit, or the bond between the dye and the fiber will break. So who knew? Who knew there was so much science that went into hand-dyed yarn? I didn't know. But anyway, Justine Howard, I hope that answered your question. It certainly helped me out. So yeah, so if you all have any questions that you want to ask that's pertaining to yarn and yarn accessories, yeah, definitely let me know. You can message me on YouTube, or you can ask them down in the comment section, and I will try to answer one or two during each video. Alright, so the very last thing that I wanted to share with you all, it's not necessarily yarn related, it's kind of yeah, I just wanted to share it. I went to Florida recently. I had said that I was going to talk briefly about this in my last video. I went to Florida for the first time, and I went to Disneyland. Yeah, I get them mixed up. Disney World. I went to Disney World. Yes, I went to Disney World, and it was so great. It was everything that I imagined it was going to be. I went to Animal Kingdom. That was the one part that we got to go to, but we have a laundry list of stuff that we want to do when we go back next time, like SeaWorld and Epcot. And honestly, like, we ran out of time. We didn't realize that the park was that big, and I don't see how anybody could possibly do 2 Disney parks in one day. Like, no way. Impossible. Even if you get there at like 9 o'clock when they open and leave at like 7, yeah, there's no way you could see both parks in one day. I mean, if you've done it, kudos to you. But yeah, so it was the first time. But me and my husband and my in-laws, we went, and it was fantastic. And also, while I was down in Orlando, I went to Medieval Times, which I love. The last time I was at Medieval Times was in South Carolina. My husband and I went there for our anniversary. We had a super great time. If you've never seen Medieval Times, you should totally check it out. It is a treat. You get a show and you get dinner, and it's just fantastic. And then on the way back, we stopped at South of the Border, which is in South Carolina. It's this little community with all this really, really cool stuff. You can buy fireworks and all kinds of like stuff there. So I just wanted to share with you a few things that I got when I was at Medieval Times. If any of you all have ever been, you know that they give you a crown when you go, and your crown, the color of your crown, it lets you know which team you're on. And this time we were on the yellow team. The last time I went, I was on the black and white team, and we won. Whoop, whoop. But this time my horseman, he got beat. He didn't win this time, but it was still fun. And my super awesome husband actually got the horseman, the knight rather I should say, to sign my crown, which is really, really cool. Absolutely love it. And it looks like they have several locations. Florida, yeah, South Carolina. They have like 8 or 9 different occasions just looking on the back. But yeah, had a super great time. And while I was there, they call you Lord and Lady. So everybody refers to all the men as Lord and the women as ladies. So of course I had to make myself look like a lady. So I bought this. Well, my husband bought this for me so that I could be a medieval lady. I love it. This is my second one that I bought, and of course I had to buy one that was purple. But you know, it's so pretty. So yeah, I definitely would recommend that you all go see a Medieval Times show. And also, while I was in Disney, you can't go to Disney without getting a pair of these. So I got Mickey ears. Oh, I love these. I absolutely love these. They had so many Mickey ears to choose from. So I went from being a medieval lady to a Disney princess. So cute. Like, I was like a 2-year-old at Disney. I really was. But yeah, love this. And when I went there, I was thinking I was just gonna get like the Mickey ears with like the black ears with the red bow, which is what I was looking for. But then I saw this. I mean, is this not purple heaven? Like, so detailed, so great. And my hubby got me this as well. And a Disney card. You can tell I'm like a first time Disney goer because I'm just so excited, and it had my name on it and everything. So cool. And then when I was in Florida, I picked up a little bottle with purple sand, and it says Florida on it. And I absolutely love seashells. And so after we were in Orlando, we went down to Tampa Bay, we went down to Clearwater. And I'm telling y'all, Clearwater has the whitest sand I've ever seen. And it's like something you only see on TV. It's amazing. And then on the way back, we stopped at South of the Border in in South Carolina. And, you know, I'm sure you all are noticing a little purple theme here. Yeah, I'm kind of just noticing it. But everything that I got while I was on my trip is purple. Yeah. Oh well. That's what I like. But anyway, so yeah, I just wanted to share with you all some of the fun that I've been having. And it was great. Like, I spent the first half of the vacation sick. Then I felt better. And then when I got back home, I got sick again. Like, I was sick for like 3 weeks. And I think what may attribute it to it was like 85 degrees in Florida. And then when I got back to North Carolina, it was like 30, 40 degrees. Going from like 85 degrees to 35 degrees really didn't do me well. But I survived it. And yeah, so I had an amazing time. Once again, thank you all for watching my videos, and thank you all for your continued support. And until next time, bye!